Hello and welcome to TV3 episode 45, The Will and Joel Show. Just a two-manner tonight. Colby is out of town, but he will be back next week if you miss him so dearly. But it's me and Joel's show. It's where you can kind of let loose a little bit, talk bad about the SEC if we want to without repercussions.
Eat Feastables.
Pig out on the show. And it was going to be a fun episode. We got the Mr. Beast boxes.
Rays keep winning series. They're on a 5-series winning streak.
Rays are winning series. But we got some terrible news to discuss.
Don't go terrible so quick.
It's pretty bad.
All things must come to an end.
So if you somehow didn't miss the news that we'll
If you live under a rock like I did up until 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, if you live under a rock or you just didn't know, maybe you're at work all day or asleep all day or something, you don't know, we have some bad news to discuss at the end of the show.
Let's go good news first, though.
But we're going to go good news first. If you don't want to be in a bad mood, though, I'd say turn it off now or just listen to the Rays part. But if you're a true fan, you'll probably listen to the whole thing and maybe shed a tear with us. There might be tear warning, trigger warning. You might cry. But anyways, I think we should start off with the Rays. The Rays, they've been winning series. They've been doing pretty good. And they're on the road for a couple series there. They're back home this past weekend facing the Washington Nationals.
We covered all the series last week. This is our only series?
This is our only series. So we thought it was going to be a short episode.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking it was going to be short.
The National series was pretty good. We got stuff to talk about.
We got some stuff to talk about, but I was thinking, maybe 35, 40 minutes, and we're wrapping it up. Take a bite of chicken first. But,
No doing the podcast with your mouth full.
The Zach sauce, incredible. And you get this Mr. Beast box, you get fries, cheese curds.
2 pieces of toast.
2 toast. And Mr. Beast Feastable bar that's milk chocolate. So
all right, let's stop. We're not being paid for this. So let's calm down.
Maybe Mr. Beast, please sponsor us. We're big fans.
Nobody's winning here. Just go get some Zaxby's, but we're not actually promoting it.
Yeah, not yet.
We might even get copyrighted for having this in the episode.
If they copyright us for doing free promotions, that'd be ridiculous.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Anyways, we flash back in time to June 28th, the first game of the series against the Washington Nationals. Zach Eflin on the bump. He was facing, Mitchell Parker here. The Nationals are kind of surprised a lot of people this year, 38 and 43. Not the best record, but they've been winning some games, and they got a lot of young talent. They traded away Juan Soto. They let Max Scherzer go. So they've gotten a lot of pieces in return. They've been bad many years. I mean, the Nationals won the World Series, what?
2019.
Yeah, so it really wasn't that long ago, but we've kind of forgot about them since. It's kind of like a one insanity run, and that was it.
There are some things about that team I forgot, though. I forgot they had, Max Scherzer.
Yeah, he was on there.
We went to the Saturday game, TV3, and it was Max Scherzer used to be on the Nationals?
And they're still paying them $15 million a year. Because I saw it's Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah.
So where the Mets have to pay that guy to 2036 or something, $1 million a year. But they were showing other notable stars who are also getting paid by their teams. And Max Scherzer is getting paid by the Mets, the Nationals, and the Rangers all at the same time.
I've seen that. That's funny.
And it's not little, Bobby Bonilla is $1.19 million. Max Scherzer is getting 15 and 14 from the Mets and Nationals, so he's making quite the pretty penny. But anyways, get to the first game. Zach Eflin, Mitchell Parker start the homestand. And Zach Eflin, he was saying before the game that he was not having a great bullpen session, but he said that usually means he's going to have a good start, and he did. Zach Eflin goes 6 pitches, only 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. It's very solid performance. As far as the relievers go, Kevin Kelly One scoreless inning, Jason Adams, another one, and Pete Fairbanks was able to close it out. As far as the scoring goes, start off in the second inning. Jose Siri, no man on board, hits a beautiful 405-foot home run. And he wasn't done there. We'll get to it in a little bit. Third inning, though, the Rays were still not done scoring. Paredes singled, and Rosarina gets on an error. There's a couple errors on that play. But Rosarina scores because of that. And then the sixth inning, Jose Siri hits his second home run of the game, 428 feet. He was by far the player of the game. The Rays end up winning 3.
Player of the month for us.
Yeah, he was our player of the month if you did not see the Instagram post. But the Rays win this game 3-1. Then we get to Saturday. TB3 was there. We were having a little bit of a tailgate. If you're listening and you showed up, we really appreciate it. There was about, 20 people there?
Maybe 25, 30. The guy I played cornhole with carried me. I think that was the first time I've ever gone tailgating, so I had a good time.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I was afraid of the rain. Thought it was going to rain really bad.
Just never know with Florida. You always hope for the best with Florida. I think that's what I've learned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you always hope for the best.
It's when you expect it the least, it's going to happen. When you expect it the most, it's going to be dry. So there's your Florida tidbit early in the show.
And I think that actually worked out because it was looking so bad on the way there. Just about everything was so dark except for St. Pete. There's like a little ring of light just keeping it, just holding us off long enough. But as gloomy as it was.
That was dome field advantage for us right there.
Yes, that's why we love the dome. But as gloomy as it was outside, it was just as gloomy inside. The Rays had Aaron Savali going up against Jake Irvin. And it was pretty... there's a lot of sparks were flying at the beginning of the game, and you kind of thought it might be one of those games. To start off, C.J. Abrams homers off of Aaron Savali in the top of the first. Not surprising, no offense.
Was that first batter?
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Was it Abrams who got it?
Yeah. It was the first batter.
That is the most Rays thing to do.
That's disappointing.
I mean, I've been to at least 2, probably 3 games where the leadoff guy got a home run. And I've only been to 60 games in my life, so there's got to be something there.
Yeah, and especially with Savali, it doesn't give you a great feeling. But Brandon Lau responds in the bottom of the first, ties it up with a homer of his own, so it's 1-1. Might be a high-scoring game, but unfortunately it wasn't. Aaron Savali gets to the fourth inning, doesn't give up any runs in the second or third, but gets into some base trouble here. I believe the bases were loaded. Savali threw a pitch that landed about 20 feet in front of the plate, and Luis Garcia scores to make it 2-1. And then we don't see any action from the fifth until the top of the seventh when the Nationals go crazy. And it wasn't off of Savali. He only gives up 2 earned runs. He only goes
5 2/3.
5 2/3, yeah. But it wasn't him in the seventh. It was Sean Armstrong.
I mean, it should have been him in the seventh. Oh, wait. Here's the real question. Just because we only have this one series to talk about, so I feel like we can go pretty in-depth. They pulled out Savali so stinking early. And, this is Kevin Cash antics right here. I hate it. 5 2/3. What are we losing by? It's tied around this point, right? Yeah. So, Kevin Cash, please stop doing this. We're finally getting Savali going into a little bit of a groove. No, so he gave up 2 runs. So, I mean, this could have been a game we could have been still close in. But no, you got to pull out Savali early because we just can't have trust in our starters.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really blame Cash for this one, though, because Savali had a lot of trouble with base runners. He was already at 102 pitches.
He was at 102?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I did not know that going into this. Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean...
The 102 is the pull point, but the fact that it only goes 5 2/3, it's come on, Rays pitchers, what are we doing?
I know, it's kind of been their struggle for most of the year, but I'd say...
I see what it was. He had 4 walks. That'll get you 102 pitches real quick.
Yeah, he was walking a lot. I mean, he did okay for when he was in there, only giving up 2 earned runs. That's not too much to ask for. The final score is 8-1, and that Sean Armstrong inning really ruined it because he gives up 6. The Rays couldn't do anything on offense. But that's the thing too. I mean, giving up 2 runs if you're Savali, you almost go 6. The Rays got to do a little better job helping him out offensively, in my opinion.
4 walks is pretty unforgivable, though.
Yeah, that's bad. But still, the Rays' offense, they got nothing to do with that. They need to get some hits and help him out. I'd say the Rays were able to win on his last start against Skeens. But same thing. We're not helping him out offensively at all.
You do got to give their starter a little bit of love here. His ERA is 3.03. He's got 86 strikeouts on the season, 1.6 WHIP. So he was pretty good. He was good enough to where I confidently picked him to be my starter for that day in fantasy. So
and you gotta stop doing that.
I mean, it works.
You're cursing the Rays.
I smelled this one coming. This is a good pitcher. His name is, just to get his name completely, Jake Irving. He's a good starter. Good. They had a good guy going on the mound, and we had to watch all of it.
Yeah. Regardless, though, there's been 2 decent starts by Savali. The Rays got to hit a little bit. You're gonna face good pitchers all the time. We get to Sunday, the rubber match. Rays just get back to 500 on Friday. They lose again. They're already below 500 again. Can they get back to 500 on Sunday? Another thing I forgot to mention on Friday, Yandy Diaz. He is the sole record holder for hitting streak for the Rays. It was, 20?
19. I think that Bartlett had 18. That's a fact check we should have had.
Something like that.
Let me
But
see
he did break
stack
it. He beat Scott Bartlett.
Scott Bartlett? Come on, Rays fan. That's you guys'
right,
problem.
Say it right then.
Come on. I'm the pre-2010 Rays
all right,
stat
then
guy.
say his name right.
His name is Jason
Bartlett. Sorry.
You don't even have the right letter.
Jason
You're
Bartlett.
fired.
I thought you were trying to say pronounce Bartlett wrong.
You're out here being like Scott Kazmir and Jason Bartlett had a kid. That's how much I know about pre-2010 Rays baseball.
They must have.
I forgive you. You're rehired.
Anyways, Rays, they need to win this to get back to 500. And they would do exactly that because they would have a awesome offensive performance. Isak Paredes in the second inning, home run, 415 feet. The Rays go up 1-0, but they weren't done as Jose Caballero homered in the second inning as well. They're up 3-0. The fourth inning, Siri, he's madman. He's so hot right now. He hits a sac fly to give the Rays another run, and it's 4-0 in the seventh inning. Randy Arozarena, he's getting back to his normal self, I think. That batting average has been climbing up, getting up there. And he helps the Rays get to a 5-0 victory. But I think the main story is with Taj Bradley for this start. I think we're starting to see something special here.
He's truly beginning to look like a 1-2 pitcher.
Yeah, he goes 5 2/3, only gives up 3 hits, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Pitched some nasty stuff, and then you got in the rest of the game, Poche, Adam, and Clevenger, and Phil Maton combined for 3 hits for the rest of the game. So our relievers doing a phenomenal job as well. But Taj Bradley, man, I don't know what more you could say about him, but he's been on an absolute tear.
He added a pitch this year. That's what I've heard people saying. It's working out.
Yeah, he's added a pitch. I think he got rid of whatever that was just getting mashed last year.
Was it a cutter? I feel like everybody.
Yeah, I think it was his cutter. But yeah, I mean, you look at his last 28 innings, he has a .64 ERA. Wow. And this is at home, so you see he likes pitching at home. You wish more of the Rays would do that because they haven't had the best record at home this year, but he has been absolutely phenomenal. And it makes you feel good because there is still the possibility of Shane Baz coming back, Jeffrey Springs, and then maybe Drew Rasmussen. And you want the problem of having too many good arms. You don't want to have it an easy decision like this guy's got to go, where it kind of feels like that might be Savali. He might be the odd man out. I don't know what they'll do with him per se, but you want to have a good problem. You want to have the 5 best guys to be your starters. I don't know if they go 6 or maybe they just move some guys to be very strong bullpen arms for the time being. So I think Taj Bradley is probably earning a spot in that top 5.
I think they're going to go with a casual retool. Like, I think they might go like a major league player for major league player by trading Zach Eflin. That's what I'm thinking. The way that I'm thinking they're going to go.
Yeah, well, I hear the Braves want him so bad.
That's what everybody out there's saying. So I could see that. Like, I wouldn't mind picking one of the better Braves players for like Eflin, maybe another player on our team. Like, not like a big name, but hey, they got a ton of talent on that team.
Yeah, they do, but are they going to give up a talent for Zach Eflin?
I mean, they're not going to give up like one of their outfielders, but I don't know. They might have like a 5th infielder or something that's like actually pretty good.
Marcelo Zuna.
I wish. I mean, he's kind of I can tell you from my fantasy team, he's not as hot as he was earlier in the season. So maybe they got to unload some cap.
He's been slowing down a little bit,
Yeah.
but because he was number 1, I think he's having better numbers than Ohtani.
No, he hasn't. He's only hit like 1 home run in the last
But
month.
yeah, he's really slowed down. But you never know. Some people have hot and cold streaks. Rays have a lot of cold streaks. We know about that.
To finish that hitting streak thing, Jason Bartlett had the 19-game hitting streak, and Yandy Diaz got the 20. So just to make sure we cleared up that.
Yeah, and it was short-lived because Saturday's streak ended. But now he has it. So congrats, Yandy. You are forever in Rays history. Is there anything else you want to add about this
Bartlett
weekend?
had that streak in 2009. Just want to make sure we get all our stats cleared up because, you come to TB3 for your stats. We're not just talking out of our butts. We bring you the facts.
We have really good stat guys.
Yeah.
But is there anything that stuck out to you this series? Anything you want to talk about?
The fact that they won another series is good. It being at home is great. I know we're not playing great home baseball, so that was nice to see. Like we're bringing some of the success home. It's nice to see Siri again staying consistent. Like he's now getting a little bit hot, or Rosarina's getting hot. Diaz had a home run in this series, right? Or was that the one before?
One before.
All right, well, Diaz is still playing pretty well. So it seems like everything's starting to kind of gel together. I'd be willing to say the bullpen had a good series here against the Nationals. Starters looked pretty good. I'd say hitting was there 2 out of the 3 games. The Saturday game, it was not there. So maybe right now the hitting's down a little bit. But regardless, it seems like all 3 facets of our game are doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, I'd say the bullpen was phenomenal outside of Sean Armstrong, which I don't want to get too much into. I'd say he hasn't had the best season. He'd probably tell you that himself. But still, at the end of the day, one bad outing isn't going to do it for me. Although it's super frustrating. It's just because it was a game we go to,
It's my fault, guys. I'm the one to blame. I felt like Jonah out there from the Bible. It's like, toss me off the ship, guys. I'm the one to blame. I am now on a 4-game Rays losing streak. So yeah, I brought the suck to that game. My bad.
I'm on a 3-game losing streak.
Oh, you're the one to blame too. I was thinking about going to the Tuesday game against the Mariners, and I didn't go, so that's why I'm truly the one to blame. The only reason I didn't go is because I was like, St. Pete's a little too far for me. I'm not gonna go. I'm just gonna watch it from the TV.
Speaking of too far, this is big, okay? So I got married this year in January. I had not driven to a Rays game from Tampa. I've always done it from the Pinellas side. I've gone from work or my parents' house. But I moved to West Chase. I live in the Tampa Bay area now. And this was the first time I came from Tampa, okay? And let me tell you, everybody's wrong. Everybody is wrong.
Everybody's right.
Everybody is wrong. That was the quickest drive I've ever had to a Rays game. And I work in Largo. I'm right there. And it takes me way longer to get from Largo to St. Pete than it did from West Chase. I took the Veterans, flew right down, no traffic, get on the Howard Franklin, no traffic all the way. I was a little early to the game, so I didn't catch that traffic on 275 where it meets with Gandy. So that doesn't really count. But no matter where you come from, you're going to hit that traffic, even if it's Pinellas or Tampa, when you don't get there early. So I'm not counting it. But as far as the rest of the way, I mean, that was quick. That was lightning quick. And you're on highway the whole time. Coming from everywhere else, yeah, you get some highway on 19. But depending on where you're coming from, it's not that great. And I think everybody's wrong.
That was the most anticlimactic thing. I was about to be like, is Will about to eat his words on a silver platter?
No, I'm here to call everybody pansies. All the people in Tampa who are like, oh, I hate driving to the Trop.
I think you
Tampa.
had the advantage though. They're all on like I-4 and 275. You got the
That's still a highway.
You got the veterans experience.
The veterans, it could be a little packed, a little
I
cramped.
feel like the veterans is always empty.
Not all the time. When you're going north on it, like after work hours, it usually gets pretty packed. That express lane helped, but still, like, I would take it to go to church in high school because my church was over there, and that would be like a nightmare. I'd always be like 45 minutes late. So I don't even know why I bothered showing up sometimes because I'd get there and it'd be like almost over. But
I've been racking up some fees on those expressways. It's like the other day I had to say no. I had to be like, all right, I'm just gonna go down Park Boulevard like a normal person because I can't afford this expressway lifestyle.
Yeah, dude, I feel like they had to have raised it or something. Not to get political on here.
The new expressway that takes you from 19 to St. Pete, I think is $5. And it's just like I can't do that. I can't get in the habit of doing that.
I took that from because it starts now in like off of Omerton.
Yeah.
And I took that because I'm like, oh, this is new. I'm gonna take the raise gave, And I get like a check in the mail. It's like $18 going through it like one time there and back.
I've been over it like 6 times, so I'm up to $30 paid to that road. So yeah, can't get in that habit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So that it's not really fair. You want to tell them about the hot dog?
Oh, okay. All right. Are you guys ready for the best news of your day? All right. So we're sitting down the right field foul pole line at the stadium on Saturday, and over there is where the Papa John's bullpen box is. And we might need to post this on TV3 because I formulated this whole video experience together. And I even had to clip out my friend using a cuss word because I can't post that kind of stuff on my social media. I'm wearing a Jesus hat right now. Okay, so I'll start the story out last year. I'm sitting over in this area with my friend. He's the one who used the cuss word. Don't worry about him. He might even be listening to the show. So, hey, friend, I won't use your name. So the Raymond mascot, he's picking up a hot dog from the bullpen box and he's waving it around at people's hands, and they're all raised up trying to get it. And I'm recording this. I'm like, what is happening? And he comes back around a couple innings later, and I'm like, yeah, Raymond, yeah, please, throw me the hot dog. And he's got a cannon of an arm. I get it. I catch it in my hat. And then he throws me the bun, and I was amazed by it. It was one of the best baseball experiences of my life. And I just that was a one and done. That's never gonna happen again. And then this game we're at this time, I'm even further up. That time I was right on I was right there first row after the tarp. I'm like 4th row up, and this time he's doing it again, and he's not doing the hot dog stuff. I just know it. I'm like, all right, Raymond's down there. It's a Saturday. It might be the same employee. So I'm like, give me a hot dog. And he does it again. And he's cannon even better this time. 4th row up. He hits me in the hands on both of them.
That was the best throw of a hot dog I've ever seen.
So amazing. I'll admit, I didn't catch the hot dog. I caught the hot dog bun, though. And he tops his game. This time, he offers me condiments. So he threw me ketchup. So I'll have to get with Colby, and we might need to get that on the TB Instagram. That was amazing. Thank you for letting me share about that experience, Will.
It was pretty awesome. The hot dog made it on the ground a couple times.
It did.
But you still ate it. It didn't taste gross.
I mean, come on. A 10-second rule? I'm more of a 1-minute rule kind of guy. It's like 10 seconds. That's what some mom made up.
Yeah, it was probably combined. It wasn't on the ground that long. It was probably combined like 15.
It's got a casing on it, if you think about it.
But you still ate the casing.
What food has a casing on it?
Yeah, it was probably like 15 seconds totals on the ground. But yeah, that was a dart. Maybe they need to see.
It worked
if
out
Raymond
for the sake of the video because I had the hot dog in my hat, so it looked like I caught it. I picked it up and I was using it as a holding center.
Anybody who didn't watch will just know you caught it.
Anybody who didn't listen to this podcast will think I caught that in my hat.
But yeah, the whole section was going nuts.
Oh, they were.
I think multiple sections were seeing this go down. They were going crazy.
This was the most boring part of the game, so that made like the whole section excited.
Mm-hmm. And they got the camera guy for Bally was down there with them. He videoed it. There is video of it somewhere.
I think that could get onto a promotion someday.
I hope so.
Like, it'll probably just be like one clip of me like having a hot dog in my hat, being really excited. So we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully, Rays, if you're listening, we'd love to see that
please
footage
send that to me.
That'd be a pretty good angle because you'll see the whole throw and catch.
They have those kind of things somewhere. Like I don't know what it is, but you can go to like apps where they'll show you like what was on the scoreboard for that night or the jumbotron.
Yeah, because I don't know. I didn't see it on the jumbotron.
It never went on the jumbotron.
And I didn't rewatch the broadcast, so I don't know if it got on there.
Oh, I thought about rewatching the broadcast. I forgot to. It's probably gone at this point.
I can give you MLB TV because they should still have it. I never use it. I have it for free because of T-Mobile, but MLB, they black out the games on there. So I still have to have Bally, which I think I've said that multiple times. It's just a pain in my side.
Just a way for Red Sox fans in Tampa to watch the game.
Yeah, basically, it's for it's like it punishes the fans who live in their city and root for their hometown team. The people you probably want using it, but whatever.
That's a rabbit trail that you can find on YouTube.
Yeah, we won't get into that. I think we've said enough about it. But yeah, the Rays take 2-1 from the Nationals, and they're off tonight. We're filming this Monday, July 1st.
I think there's only 3 or 4 games tonight.
Yeah, there's only 3. Rockies and Brewers right now it's tied 3-3. Mets are whooping up on the Nationals, and then the Astros beat the Blue Jays earlier today. But the Rays will be back in action on Tuesday. Very short homestand because I guess they played the Mariners at home. They played the Nationals, but now they're back on the road again in Kansas City, July 2nd at 8:10 p.m. They play the Royals. Wednesday, I don't know if there's a 3-game series. Let's see here. Yeah, it's 3-game series, Tuesday through Thursday. Tuesday and Wednesday are 8:10, and then Thursday is also 8:10. That's pretty rude of the Royals. But that'll all be on Bally. Then the Rays go to Texas, Arlington to be specific. They play the Rangers. First game July 5th at 8:05 p.m. on Bally. Saturday at 4:05 on Bally, and then Sunday they close out the series against the Rangers at 2:35. Very, very specific time there. These are 2 teams. One of them's having a pretty good year. The other was World Series champs last year. We've seen them already. Didn't go that great, but they've struggled as of late. A lot of their guys have, I think just about every single player on their roster has dropped down like 100 points in on-base percentage, slugging.
I don't think their lineup's doing very good right now.
Yeah, they're doing terrible. Marcus Semien, their second baseman, has over like the last 30 games or whatever, he's had like the worst batting average of any qualified hitter. So they're struggling. The Royals, though, that's going to be tough. We saw what they did when they came here the last time. But let's try to right the wrongs of the past. This is a 500 team now. Like we said, we think it's coming together. They have a bunch of series wins under their belts. Can they keep it going? And they seem to do better on the road. So maybe this is where they start. Yeah, you got to.
Max Scherzer's back.
Do we go against them? Yeah, let me go through the matchups here.
I was trying to see if Max Scherzer was still hurt, but he's
back.
Yeah, he came back June 23rd.
Yeah, first start he got 20, second start he got 5. So I don't know what to do with them yet. I'm dropping Eovaldi though. That's who
You drop him, I pick him up.
Dude, he's not doing good. He gets like 4 every start.
I dropped Kevin Gausman. You just don't know pitchers.
Yeah, I give them if they get 2 very bad starts, they're done. I dropped Carlos Rodon because he one game he got -12, And the next game he got -4. And it was at one point -16. He just pitched 7 innings because they were down so much and stopped giving up runs. But yeah, he's gone. But anyways,
I may be dropping Garrett Cole soon. So if anybody wants him,
he's been pretty bad since he got back.
So I didn't pitch him in his last game. I think he got me a 9, but I was pitching him on a day where he got me like a -20. So that was the week I lost very, very confidently to Will, the one and only.
That was a great week for me, though. All my guys were just scoring a lot of points. And then this week, Colby's not here, but I beat him. I beat him.
Oh, yeah,
and
you did. You had a good comeback win.
Yeah, I was down 262 to 228 on the last day. And I did not expect to come even close because normally in that situation, I've never beaten Colby in fantasy. I was 0 for 3 before this. And normally in that situation, I'm like, maybe there's a chance, and then I'll turn on the app, and I'm down like 350 to the same score because I didn't get any points. But I turn on the fantasy app at like 3, and I'm up by 4. I'm like, how in the world did this happen? And then I was starting watching the games because like he had a couple guys going, and then the Twins played the Brewers. Or the Mariners, and he had Luis Castillo going, and I had Joe Ryan. So it was a duel. Who was going to get the better start? Who's going to get the best? Who that really decided it? Joe Ryan had a great day. He had like 19, and then...
Of course, it was the former Rays prospect that we gave up on.
He's handsome, too. He would have fit in well with DeLuca and Josh Lowe.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was the victor, and I won by 7 points. I had a 71-point comeback. I'm now the best seed in fantasy, hoping to keep that. But yeah,
that's just a little Brett Phillips fan club news for you guys.
Yeah, fantasy. I know you guys care about the fantasy. We're all in it, and a lot of the guys you've heard on the show, I think just about everybody except one has been on the show. So yeah, it's pretty competitive. If you remember Luke, he won it last year. I tried to stay out of
fantasy for so long, and now I'm so in depth and like invested in it.
Oh, I love, especially baseball fantasy, dude. I love it.
It's so fun. For years, I was trying to avoid it just because now I'm the person that I hate. All I care about is fantasy. It's like the Rays could lose, but if my fantasy team wins, it's okay.
Yeah, I found that a little hard, especially when guys go up against the Rays because you're kind of like, oh, might be a good start today.
Hit a home run.
Yeah, it might be a good start today for my pitcher. But, yeah, anyways, let's go to projected starters. So July 2nd, looks like it's going to be Zach Littell versus Brady Singer. This guy, hot and cold. He kind of started off this year decent, but he's 4-4 with a 3.12 ERA and a 1.18 WHIP. He can still probably pitch a good game. Zach Littell needs to step up. Game 2 of that series will be Ryan Pepio versus Michael Waka, former Ray.
That looks like a win. If I could pencil down a win, I'm penciling down.
That should be a win. Game 3.
Waka's probably got a good stretch going. Let me go see.
I don't know.
They lost 3 of their last 4 with him starting, so I think we're looking good.
Yeah, he's got nearly a 4 ERA. He's 4-6 on the year.
You just never know with Waka.
Time to retire, old man. The last game of the series is Alec Marsh versus Zach Eflin. So let's see if Zach Eflin can have another good start like he did on Friday. Alec Marsh, though, 6-5, 4.19 ERA with a 1.20 WHIP. Kansas City's a decent team, like we said. So the Rays really have to step up on all sides of the ball. Then we go to Texas. It'll be Michael Lorenzen versus Aaron Savali. Maybe the Rays can hit and help him out. Let's hope. Saturday, Andrew Haney versus Taj Bradley. So that's going to be a good one. And then to close out that series on Sunday, Nathan Eovaldi versus Zach Littell. Hopefully I have him off fantasy by then. But maybe I should keep him. I don't know. Maybe he'll do good against the Rays. But we're positive on this show. I think the Rays are going to turn around a corner. They're going to start getting a couple games above 500. They've been floating around it, but I think this week they're going to get above it. I really think they will.
Yeah, they will.
So in 6 games, Joel, how do you think the Rays will do? What do you think they're...
I'm feeling weirdly confident right now. Like, weirdly confident. Like,
that's good, though. That's good.
I'm looking at this, like, I think we could sweep Kansas City. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm looking at those starters, and I'm thinking to myself, like, we could beat Waka. I don't know about Singer or Marsh, but like, I don't know. Like, all right, I'm gonna go weirdly positive. We're not even keeping score of these points anymore. Sorry to break it to you, TB3 Nation.
I'm keeping track.
No, you're not.
I am.
No, you're not. All right, I'm going 5-1.
I am. There's just weeks I can't count it because somebody's not here.
All right, well, 5-1. 5-1. We're sweeping
5-1.
the Royals,
Wow.
losing, getting a 3 from the Rangers.
Who's hitting the home run?
Let's go Paredes.
Paredes, it's a good one. He needs to. Some people might be saying he's struggling a little bit, so maybe he'll turn it around.
Some people would be me as well. But that don't mean he's not going to hit a home run this week. He struggled last week, but this week he's hitting a home run.
It's a new week.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm going to be negative. Well, not that negative. I'm saying 4-2. I think they win both series, but they'll just drop one game. Because it's just been that type of year.
I mean,
but
if they go 4-2, I'm dancing.
Dancing. I'll be happy too. 5-1, though, that sounds pretty good. Who's hitting the home run? Richie Palacios. He hasn't hit one in a while.
He's not hitting one this week either.
He's gonna hit one this week against. It's gonna be in those like way upper deck seats in Arlington. Gonna smoke one up there.
Those seats are high up.
Yeah, I know that. I feel like I would hate sitting there. I feel like they're
as far as the party deck.
Maybe the lower one, but they got like 3 levels of those things.
I think those look cool. Some people don't like them, but I think they look cool.
They look cool. I just think that stadium is huge. I feel like there's a lot of places in that stadium where the field would look super far away. That's my only thing. I want to be. I don't have to be super close to the action, but I want to be able to not feel like I'm looking at ants. Never been there though. It's on the bucket list. But I think that'll do it for the Rays. And now we'll go.
That was the good news.
That was the good news, and we're still gonna have some good old hearted fun because I just really don't want to get to this. So I'm procrastinating.
All right. I procrastinate all the time, so I can't blame
you. So let's just keep the good mood, the vibes going. I still got a lot. My Mr. Beast box left. Still got to try this.
I pretty much polished mine off.
I got a couple fries.
Curds. I still got a piece of toast.
I want to keep it going through the show. But anyways, it's the 4th of July coming up on Thursday. It is our nation's holiday. If you can't tell, if you're not watching, if you're just listening, I got my Bucks USA military appreciation shirt on. Got a red, white, and blue Rays hat. I came prepared, Joel, because it is 4th of July. So we're gonna play I
brought my cross hat. What could be more American than Jesus?
Don't the Mormons believe he went to America?
Yeah, I think they're the ones that think like the New Jerusalem. They're the Jerusalems in like Missouri or something.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, we're playing a fun game, Joel. It's really not that hard. All you have to do, I call the game. Are they celebrating 4th of July? So all you have to do, I'm gonna tell you a name of a Bucks player, a Rays, a Lightning player, and you just gotta tell me if they're celebrating 4th of July.
I mean, do we have is there like something on their Twitter that says they are?
It's just going right off of their birthplace. So I'm throwing some names around in there. You have to tell me, are they celebrating 4th of July?
All right.
I think we'll start off with the Bucks. That one might not be as hard for you. So we'll start it off.
Oh, so you're saying if they're not American?
If they're not born, if they're not U.S. born.
I was wondering, like, what's the catch here?
Yeah, so you just tell me, yeah, they're celebrating 4th of July. Right. Or if they're not born in the U.S., you get to say, no, they're not celebrating 4th of July. So we'll start off, Mike Evans. Is he celebrating the 4th of July?
You know he is.
Yep, he is celebrating the 4th of July. Okay.
Easy one off the bat.
Aqib Talib. Is he celebrating the 4th of July?
I'm pretty sure he's not.
No, he is celebrating 4th of July. He's American. Austin Safarian Jenkins. Is he celebrating 4th of July?
These all feel like tricks. I feel like isn't he? So aren't there some players where they were like Coast Guard families?
I'm going strictly born out of the country.
Because there's some of those Coast Guard families where they're like, yeah, he was born in Germany.
I didn't go that in depth. This is pretty solid. Like if they were born there and lived there.
I'm just saying, some of the guys you picked, I bet you if you look at their story, it was like they were born there, lived there for a month, and then moved to the United States.
Could be.
All right.
I think I did a good job.
All right. Whatever this name was, I'm just Christmas tree in this, I'm gonna say he was not born in the USA.
No, he's celebrating 4th of July.
Man, there's like 2 in here.
Bucks Super Bowl kicker Martin Gramatica. Is he celebrating 4th of July?
Time to go racist with a last name like that. He's definitely not from the USA.
No, he's not celebrating the 4th of July. He's from Argentina. Ian Beckles. Is he celebrating the 4th of July?
This is so hard. I'm gonna say he is celebrating the 4th of July.
No, he's not. He's from Canada. He's not celebrating the 4th of July.
I should have known that one. I've listened to enough Ron and Ian to know that one.
Yaya Diaby. Is he celebrating the 4th of July?
Yes.
Yes, he is. He's celebrating the 4th of July.
Is he from like Alabama? I feel like
He's from
it don't matter.
He's from Atlanta. He's from Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm like I think he's got some Southern in him.
Last but not least, for the Bucks category, Vita Vea. Is he celebrating 4th of July?
This one is close for me.
Because he's Polynesian.
I'm gonna say no. He is not.
He is from California.
Okay, he must.
He's
be
celebrating the 4th of July. All right, I think I'm gonna save baseball for last. That's your strong suit. So
Hockey. I think hockey's gonna be the hardest one.
We're going to hockey right now. So we're getting the
All
hard
right,
one.
hockey's gonna be really hard
but baseball, I think I might have done it just good enough to where you might
there's
not
like
know.
3 players in hockey that were born in like Washington and Minnesota, and I just gotta sniff it. I just gotta sniff those ones.
All right. We'll start with the first one. Andre Vasilevsky.
He's celebrating Russian Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he's not celebrating the 4th of July. Jonathan Drouin.
Yes, he is.
No, he's from Canada.
I felt good about that one.
Luke Glendening. Is he celebrating the 4th of July?
Yes.
Yes, he is. He's an American.
What state? That's the important thing.
I didn't know.
Those are the ones we gotta know.
I think it's all it's like Minnesota.
It's Minnesota, Michigan, like
Wisconsin,
North
Dakota.
What was his name?
Who did I say?
Lewis something.
Luke Glendening. Come on, man. He's gonna be the 4th liner this year.
Luke Glendening was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah, it's all like the same state.
It's that Great Lakes area and like Washington.
Okay, so I said Jonathan Drouin. All right, let's go. Braden Point. Is he celebrating?
He's for sure Canadian.
No, yeah, he is definitely Canadian.
I know that one.
Ryan Callahan. Is he celebrating?
Oh, I know where he's from. He's from New York.
Yeah, he is an
I
American.
remember them making so much of a hoot on that when he was playing for the Rangers.
Yep, he's celebrating 4th of July. Mitchell Chaffee.
I almost looked him up before I said it. It's like, let's go see just so I can check
You cheating now?
No. I'm definitely not cheating. I'm going Canadian.
No, he's celebrating the 4th of July.
All right.
Ryan McDonough.
He's American.
Yes, he is American. He's celebrating 4th of July.
3 straight. You're messing up my Christmas trees technique.
I know, because you got to think about it.
Yeah.
Blake Coleman.
I'm just trying to hear the accents in my head. I'm going to go Canadian.
No, he's celebrating 4th of July.
Yeah, okay. You're just like, this is actually, hey, these hockey players are American.
It's kind of a shout out to some U.S. guys, but it's our holiday. It's 4th of July.
All right.
Alex Killorn, is he celebrating 4th of July?
Dang, because I feel like he's an American, but I gotta break the Christmas tree here. I'm gonna go Canadian.
He is Canadian. Right. It was coming at some point. Nick Paul, is he celebrating the 4th?
I'm gonna say yes.
No, he's Canadian.
With the last name like Paul, I probably should have.
All right, here's a tough one. Andre Palat.
You're laughing, so I'm gonna go Canadian.
Well, he's Czechoslovakian.
Yeah.
He's not celebrating.
I should have stopped going. Should have stopped going with the country on that one.
Ben Bishop.
He's American. I'm trying to remember the state.
He is American, so he's celebrating.
I feel like he's from California.
He might be. I think it was something different like that.
Sometimes when they're Americans, like they never shut up about it on the broadcast.
Yeah, they were pretty. I feel like back in the day, I was only like, 12 or 13 whenever he started playing.
Colorado,
yeah. Pat Maroon.
My mind wants to say yes, so I'm gonna say he's Canadian.
No, he's celebrating the 4th, man.
All right.
Brandon Hagel.
I'm gonna go. I thought you were gonna give me way more of like the Victor Hedmans and stuff, like the guys with really weird last names.
That'd be too easy.
I thought I was hoping. I'm gonna go not American.
No, he's not. He's not celebrating. And last but not least, Nick Perbix.
I'm gonna go with that last name. I'm gonna go not American.
Oh, he's celebrating the 4th of July.
Nick
He's American.
Perbix. He might. Okay.
All right, here we go.
With baseball.
Baseball. I tried really hard to stump you. Maybe, I mean, you're probably gonna know these guys, but maybe
you
some
gotta
of them.
remember my baseball like weird baseball knowledge kind of taps out at like 2014.
I didn't go past that except for like a big name guy, but most of these guys are raised within 2014 to 2024.
Oh, okay. So you got my stomping ground.
Yeah, but I want to test
like
you.
toss in some like Victor Martinez's, like an Alex Rodriguez, some Orlando Cabrera. Like I think Orlando Cabrera is Colombian.
I'm not sure.
I think he is.
But we'll start off with something. Maybe this is probably easy. Matt Joyce, is he celebrating the 4th of July?
So yeah, these are the players where I think some of them are Coast Guard.
I didn't.
No, okay, he's Tampa.
Yep, he is celebrating the 4th of July. Will Myers.
I just got to remember which one of these was Coast Guard. I'm gonna say he is American.
Laptop died.
I'm gonna say he's American.
Yeah, he's celebrating the 4th.
You know who I think? I want to say Johnny Damon was a Coast Guard kid. While we're playing this, I'm gonna fact check myself on that.
All right.
Give me your next one.
Curtis Mead.
Not American.
No, he's Australian, mate.
I know that accent. Nope, I was wrong. Johnny Damon's from Canada. I got Kansas.
All right, here is a former Ray, Vidal Nuno.
Not American.
He is American. He's celebrating the 4th of July. Mikey Matuk. Is he celebrating the 4th?
I'm gonna say no. I think what you're leaning toward here is that a lot of these aren't American.
He's celebrating the 4th of July.
All right.
All right, let's go. Rafael Soriano.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
Is he celebrating the 4th?
I think he does.
No, he's from the DR, the Dominican Republic. Let's do a little more recent one. Travis Darno. It's a pretty French name.
He's Canadian.
No, he's American. He's celebrating the 4th of July. Eric Bedard.
I don't even know who that is.
He started like 17 games in 2012 or 2013, I want to say.
Huh. Eric Bedard. All right, we'll go Christmas tree on this one. My last one was American. I'm gonna go not American.
Yeah, he's Canadian. He's not celebrating the 4th of July. JT Chargois. French name. Is he celebrating the 4th?
I'll go Canadian.
No, he's celebrating the 4th of July. He's American. Jose Caballero.
Not American.
No, he's from Panama.
Huh.
He's not celebrating the 4th.
What was that longtime Yankees catcher? He went to the Blue Jays to end his career, and he was Canadian.
Brett Lowry?
No. I'll look up his name.
Carlos Pena.
Carlos Pena?
Yeah.
Okay, come on, man.
I say Carlos Pena.
No, it's Pena. You're out here being like, do I know anything
I have to pronounce
Do I know
end?
anything about the 2007 through 12 race? No.
Look how they say it in Moneyball. They say Pena.
Oh, no. Well, they said it
They
wrong
say
in
Pena.
that. I don't want what Moneyball said. I want those moments that you lived out where he hit the most home runs in the
That was my
league
first
in
race shirt.
2009.
Was a Carlos. I'm not gonna say it now.
It was clearly a hand-me-down.
That was fresh off the market.
He was not. He is not American.
No, he's not. But that was a guess.
No, it wasn't.
So let's see.
That
was
was not a guess.
That was a guess. Your
No,
Christmas tree
it
joke.
wasn't.
David De Jesus.
I think he was from somewhere in Central America.
He's celebrating the 4th of July,
He
man.
is?
All right. Eddie Gambia.
American.
Yeah, he's celebrating the 4th of July.
That one was a guess. I get a Christmas tree. That one.
Richie Palacios. My home run pick. Is he celebrating the 4th?
I think you're trying to stump me on that one, but I'm gonna contradict that and say he's American.
Yeah, he's from Brooklyn, New York.
Huh.
All right. This is probably the hardest one in my opinion. Last year this was one of your guys.
All right, to answer my question, Russell Martin. Russell Martin is a Canadian. Yeah, there was a big home sweet home thing when he went to play for them.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys who've been Canadian born on the team. I found that out by
cool. He was born in Ontario. I just remember them never shutting up about that on the Baseball Network.
Technically, Vladdy's Canadian.
What was the name of this guy?
Oh, this is one of your guys, Christian Bethencourt. Is he celebrating the 4th of July?
I could see him being born like Miami. I feel like the bolder thing would to say American, so I'm gonna go out bold. He is not American.
He's not. He's from Panama.
All right.
Last one. G-Man Choi. Is he celebrating the 4th of July?
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll try to give you the countries. I'm gonna go Korea.
South Korea, yes. Okay, and bonus round. Here we go. Bonus round. Coaches. Todd Bowles.
He could very well be a military baby.
I'm not counting those.
No, but I mean, if you look it up on Google, it's going to tell you he was born.
None of these guys I think were Coast Guard. I'm like 98% positive.
But if you're giving him to me, there's a chance that he is not American. He was a Coast Guard baby. All right. I'm going to say he is not American.
He is an American.
He is?
Well, that was a toss. That's a freebie.
Yeah, okay.
Kevin Cash.
American.
Yep, he's celebrating the 4th. John Cooper.
Not American. He might be. Is he New York?
No, Canada.
Yeah, he's Canada.
And the last one, Alex Golish.
Not American.
Okay.
That
was a guess, wasn't it? He probably is celebrating the 4th.
Where's he from?
But his family is from Russia. And it wasn't Coast Guard or anything like that. There's no Coast Guard in Russia. His parents are Russian, and they moved him here when he was a kid.
Huh.
So he probably celebrates the 4th, but he technically is not from the U.S. He's from Russia.
So I only got one of the coaches wrong. I'm pretty happy with that.
Mm-hmm. That one was a guess, though.
I mean, Golish had enough of an odd name to where it's like...
Yeah, but you think a football coach is... It's pretty rare that you're going to find a football coach not from America or Canada.
You can sometimes smell it off the last name.
Okay, I'll give it to you. That was our fun game. Maybe if you played along, tell us how you did. See if there's any Coast Guard ones I missed. But I don't think so. I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to remember one of the ones that was Coast Guard. Like, I used to just know my baseball players. It was kind of like a weird obsession. I'm trying to remember one of the guys that was like, that's not the right country.
All right, well, you do that. We have to discuss the Tampa Bay Lightning because, as you know, they didn't win the Stanley Cup. Not saying who did. You can find that out for yourself. But
wait,
I won't.
Since we're kind of just having a good time on here, we didn't talk about it last week. How do we feel about that?
Good in a way, for two reasons. Because number one, I don't like Canada. No offense. Or take offense from that because I really don't like Canada. I don't want to see them win. And I don't really like Connor McDavid either. I didn't want to see him win a cup. So, yeah, that's reason number one. Reason number two is that at least with the Panthers winning, the Lightning will always be included in this run right now.
That
Florida runs hockey.
True. I haven't
because I've seen all that. It's like state of Florida. Florida is a hockey state. So the Lightning get their name out there.
That has been nice. I've seen a couple clickbait videos with that.
Yeah, I can relish in the glory of the cup still. It still stinks.
The cup has stayed in Florida for is made its way through Florida a long time now.
How do you feel about it?
I'm kind of upset. I in the moment I was pulling for Florida. I hate Canada so much. Like, I want that 30-year streak to keep growing.
I want to go forever.
But now that it's happened, and now that Florida's like, hey, now we finally have a right to say that we're rivals with with Tampa. Like, that hurts. It also hurts that now the likelihood of them ever moving is probably not going to happen. Like, I don't want to hear any of this crap. Like, I don't like Florida. I don't see them as our rivals. I couldn't care less about them. Like, I don't give a crap. But I care so little that I would be excited if they moved. Like, if they moved to, like, I don't know where they're looking for a team right now. Like, if they moved to Houston, I'd be pretty thrilled. Like, it's like, see you later. I didn't even care about you enough to be a rival. So have a good time being the Houston Aeros. But now that they have this cup, I think they're pretty much secured. I think a lot of these bandwagoners are going to hop on the train full time. And, yeah, they're going to start acting like we're rivals. And it's just, yeah, I'm not super thrilled. I kind of wanted them to just be the deprived little brother that never added up to anything. So it's kind of sad.
Which stinks. But you still got to look at it. We still have more Stanley Cups. We've been around roughly the same time.
1 year more than them.
Mm-hmm. We have 2 more Stanley Cups. We beat them in head-to-head.
They've lost one, won one. We've
won
3, lost
2.
one. Lost 2.
But we still, head-to-head, we own them. In the playoffs, head-to-head, we own them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still big brother. No reason to panic about that.
I said this in a comment on YouTube to somebody's video. I think I used a TV3 account just because I was trying to do that and, make our presence known on YouTube. So I was saying the reason why Florida and Tampa Bay act like they have a rivalry stems from a lot of things that happened in the 1990s. Tampa Bay was rewarded the franchise around the same time as the Panthers. We started a year earlier, and the draft setup for us was not as good. It was not as favorable for us, and because of that, they saw the lack of success from us and the Ottawa Senators, and they decided to improve it for the Panthers. And who came in with the Panthers? I don't remember who came in with the Panthers. Regardless, their expansion draft went a lot better for them, and they were in the Stanley Cup Finals like 3 years later. So that's one of the reasons why there's this idea of a rivalry, and rightfully so from some of these things that happen off the ice. And then the other big thing is because they started up a year later than us, and yet they took the whole identity of Florida, is just a slap in the Lightning's face. Like, they're like, oh, we're going to take everything else. Like, if you took Tampa Bay, we'll take the rest of the state. So those two things right there are why many people from the previous generation, from the people in their 30s and 40s, and myself included, call them the stinking Panthers. There's nothing on the ice that causes this to be a rivalry. It's all based on that 30 years ago, and rightfully so. That's why there's a tiny little line that some people would refer to as a rivalry. But none of it's happened in a lot of our lifetimes who are in their late 20s and early 20s and teenage years. So, yeah, the Florida Panthers, they're not our rivals. Even now, that's just a little small line in the story of a book called The Panthers Are Not Our Rivals.
And what's with the rats, too?
That's gross.
It is gross. It doesn't make any sense. But, yeah, so ever since then, the Lightning have been full off-season mode. The draft just happened, and you kind of know a lot of these guys, it's not like the NFL. If you're just becoming a Lightning fan, it's not like the NFL. It's more on the lines of baseball, where it takes some time for these guys to develop. Yeah, so you're not going to see probably any of these guys on ice anytime soon. But before that, Lightning made some huge trades. First off, sending Mikhail Sergachev to the Utah Hockey Club. In return, they get defenseman J.J. Moser and forward Connor Geekie. Kind of an interesting name. And I believe they get a pick with that, too. Let's see. I got the trade pulled up here. They got a second-round pick for 2025 and a 2024 seventh-round pick and 2020. I said it wrong again. 2024 seventh-round pick, 2025 second-round pick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we got a huge return for him. These are kind of younger guys. Connor Geekie has yet to play in the NHL. He was drafted 11th overall in 2022, so that's kind of a long-term guy. has been pretty solid in the lower levels, the lower affiliates of the NHL teams. So you probably won't see him though, but he is young. He is a first-round pick, so that's pretty big. Then we go to J.J. Moser. He's a defenseman for the former Arizona Coyotes and now Utah Hockey Club. Played 80 games last year, 5 goals, 21 assists, was second in just about every category for defenseman on the Arizona Coyotes. Total in his career, again, he's 24 years old. He's played 205 games in the NHL already, 16 goals, 56 assists. You'll probably see him get some playing time right away. He's not going to be on any of the top lines, but he'll be a solid like third line for defenseman. And he cleared up some cap space, obviously getting rid of Sergachev. Kind of stinks. He had a big injury this year, so he missed a lot of time.
But we played a lot better without him. Remember that?
We did. So it's kind of like, well, you might not be missing out a whole lot. They might have even gotten rid of him if he didn't get hurt, like at the trade deadline.
Like, I think, yeah, because he, like you said, because he got hurt, I think that's what made him so expendable.
Yes, but Lightning are able to get a huge profit for him, and they weren't done there yet.
So this trade for me was kind of like early Christmas. Like, I came on the show when he was injured. I said, like, hey, this is a blessing in disguise. So Merry Christmas to me. We just got a second-round pick for him, and we don't have to pay his contract because he had a big boy contract.
He does, and now Utah will have to deal with that. But he gave his heart and soul to the Bolts. He was a part of those cup runs. So thank you for your service, Mikhail Sergachev. The next trade,
see you later.
a friendly adieu.
Kind of friendly. Like, don't let the door slam.
Okay,
don't
before
let the
you
door
start,
slam too
let's
quick
get to this
behind you.
one because this one is a little better. The Lightning trade Tanner Jeannot to the Los Angeles Kings
That one actually,
for a second-round pick next
I'll play
year.
devil's advocate on this one. That one kind of makes me sad because we gave up so much for Tanner.
We gave up so much for him, but we're lucky we got anything back.
I mean, it's one of those things where he's one of those players where you want him to succeed just so that you can have something to put yourself on and say, okay, like at least he had a good this year, so now it's okay. Like Tim Beckham, I think of Tim Beckham a lot with that. Like Tim Beckham toward the end of his time with the Rays was looking pretty good, looking pretty promising, and it was like, all right, come on, let's just make this look okay at the end of all this. So to let go of that guy for the Lightning, like it's kind of sad. It's like, okay, we got nothing out of him.
Still got. I'll play other devil's advocate though and say
Angels advocate.
Yeah, we made a big mistake getting them. And he didn't produce for us, but we still were able to get some value of him and a decent pick, a second-round pick. That's pretty good.
It all worked out, but it's just kind of like swallowing your pride on that one.
Yeah, but hey, second-round pick next year, not terrible. Kings can have them. See you later.
Yeah, because I think for Tim Beckham, I think we cut him.
Yeah, thank you for not much, Tanner Jeannot. Then we get to the NHL draft. So the Lightning got a pick. First pick came in the 4th round at pick 118. Jan Golchich. I'm not going to say anything about him. We don't know. Round 4, pick 128 is Hagen Burros. And he is pretty interesting because he grew up a Bolts fan. So good for him. Then we got round 5, pick 149, Juna Saralainen from Sweden. He actually has been pretty good for Sweden in like the under 20s. Then in round 6, pick 181 is Caden Petre. He's a forward. Round 7, pick 195, Joe Connor. He's a forward. And round 7, pick 199, Noah Steen, who's also forward. So we got some guys for the future. Like I said, these guys probably won't play anytime soon, but let's hope some of them hit. There's been some late round picks in hockey that have hit. You never know. And flash forward, we get to free agency. Today it opens up. Normally hockey is not this crazy. If you haven't paid attention, or if you have and you almost feel exhausted from all the stuff that went down, so many moves happened today. The most money ever spent on the first day of free agency in NHL history is like over $1 billion. Different contracts, guys going around everywhere. And the Lightning haven't done a whole lot. Let's just start with some of the departures. Still, hold your breath.
We brought in probably the greatest guy in the market, though.
No.
No, you don't think so?
No. Yeah, I guess of the big move the Lightning made, signed Jake Gunsel, I believe that's how you say it. 7-year contract, $9 million. He's a forward for the Carolina Hurricanes. He's been a solid goal scorer for them. Signed a couple two-way players. Signed Derek Poliot from Dallas on a two-way deal. Paquette Bisson on a two-way deal. Steven Santini from the Blues. Jesse Yolen from Montreal. Then we got Zegmus Gudrjensens. He is a forward from Buffalo Sabres. 3 years, $850,000. So he will probably make an impact in one of the lower lines. So that's been your moves. And then the departures. Matt Dumba. We picked him up at the trade deadline this year. He signed with the Dallas Stars. Anthony Duclair, who we also picked up, he is a New York Islander. Alex Barré-Boulet goes to Montreal. Alex Barré-Boulet. Did I just say that? Yeah, Alex Barré-Boulet. He went to Montreal. Calvin DeHaan goes to the Avs. I'm trying to think who else.
I'm looking it up.
Who else left today? Yeah, that's right. Steven Stamkos signs with the Nashville Predators.
That's crazy to hear. Like I'm not the one crying the most in the Tampa Bay community about this, but like that I didn't think I'd hear that sentence. Like I was expecting a Canadian team, like whenever anybody would say like, "Hey, where's Stamkos going to sign in the near future?" Like you always think Toronto, you always think Montreal, maybe like the Flames or something, but to hear like Nashville Predators, like that's weird.
And I mean, we'll get into it a little bit. It is I think this might be one of the worst days in Tampa sports history. Maybe Joel, you feel differently, but I'll go first and get on my soapbox. I think this was absolutely ridiculous. I think Julian Breezewall made a terrible decision. It kind of seems like, from what they were going on, discourse. It even started last year. I remember we talked about on the episode that contract talks were not going well, but Steven Stamkos played the whole year. He didn't sit out. He leads the team in scoring in the playoffs in the wild card against the Panthers. And we get to contract negotiations, and front office still doesn't budge over. They want to give Steven Stamkos $3 million a year. Stamkos wanted somewhere close to $8 million, which is what the Predators ended up giving him. 4 years, $8 million per year. But I really think Stamkos would have settled for $5 million. From the reports I've saw, this isn't my own opinion. This is from what everybody's saying in the reports, and even Breezewall kind of backed it up himself, saying it today. He wasn't budging from $3 million a year, which is absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. I understand. You're running a business. You might have to play hardball with these guys because you're not. If you run a team off of admiration and stuff, you won't succeed. But this is your captain. This guy's been here for 16 years. Won you 2 Stanley Cups, and you're playing hardball with him. And we had the cap space. To get him probably at $5 million a year, and we would have been okay. But Breezewall decided to play hardball, and now the face of the franchise, basically since I've been alive. I mean, me and Joel were talking about before the show. I was 9 years old. Joel, you were 11 when he started playing. I mean, we're both grown men now. Both in are getting ready to get to our late 20s. And Steven Stamkos has always been a Bolt. I think this is a huge blunder. And I think, I'm thinking of all the moves that's happened when Breezewall took over after Yzerman stepped down. And I mean, outside of one or two, I've not seen a lot of positives. And this is just another one that's kind of icing on the cake. I think this will be a huge blunder. I mean, we can discuss it further, but Joel, I mean, let's hear your thoughts.
It will definitely go down as the worst move he's made. It feels like the end of it's an end of an era, no doubt. Like this is the end of the Stamkos era. Now it is what's on the other side of this. Are we going to be competitive? Who's the main voice in the room? Is somebody going to be able to step up? Like there's now a target on this guy we just got from the Hurricanes. Like he probably won't be able to fill those shoes. They're the biggest shoes you could fill in a locker room like this. Like we just released our captain, and on the same day we signed this guy, and Kucherov and Kucherov and Vasilevsky, like they're not quite those vocal characters. So like somebody's gonna have to step up. Somebody's gonna have to draw this team together and say it's okay. The leader's gone, but we're still gonna go on a cup run. We're still gonna do this. We're still the Tampa Bay Lightning. So part of our DNA has been taken from us today, and I'm not ready to give up yet. But if the season starts out slow, coming up later in the year, things could get ugly, and it would be heartbreaking to see because there's still a lot of life left in this team. Like this team still has years to give, and we're just gonna have to find out what the ramifications of this are.
Yeah, I think for Breezewell, this is huge. I mean, number one, I would fire him on the spot. After today, I'm sorry. I agree with you, Joel. That like, we'll see what happens. We'll see how this goes. But I almost feel like if I'm Vinik, if I'm Jeffrey Vinik, I'm not even letting him finish the rest of the day. I just think hockey is such a different sport, like you said, that he's the identity of the team. Yeah, there's some leaders on the Lightning, but the captain that wearing that C is something different that really no other sport has. That C is being the captain of your team is so important. It's pretty sacred in hockey, and to just let him go. And the things he was saying to Stamkos, I'll say it in a bit. I mean, you totally disrespected the guy. I think Breezewell should be gone instantly. But I think now you've got to prove it. If you're saying this is for the future and this is for the betterment of the team, we better see a cup then in the next 5 to 6 years. If you think this move was so important that you had to do it now to continue to help this team stay afloat, we better see another cup then. Or else he should be gone as soon as they dip below 500. Because this is just unacceptable. You can't do that and continue to get worse. And that's the trend I've seen. I've seen this team slowly get worse. A lot of the core, a lot of those big guys that won us the cups in 2020 and 2021 were Yzerman's draft picks or his free agent signings, and it kind of all came together. But I'm looking, and like I said, draft picks don't pan out right away, so I'm not talking about last year, the year before, but Breezewell took over in 2018, and I looked at the list, and you can look at it too, from 2019 to 2020, has any of those guys, any of the guys he's drafted, ever done anything? And then I look at 2021. You have Barclay Goodrow, Blake Coleman, Yanni Gourde, one of the best lines in all the NHL I've seen, most dominant. And you didn't manage to keep any of them. Let them all go. Let Yanni Gourde go to the expansion draft. Didn't bother re-signing Coleman or Goodrow. Then I look at, like we said, the Tanner Jeannot trade. Giving up 5 picks for a guy who's done absolutely nothing for you. Nothing. Poor signings like Connor Sheary. Haven't done a lot. And then guys you pick up at the trade deadline this year don't even want to stay with you. They're immediately gone. And really didn't make that big of an impact in the playoffs. I just think we're seeing a trajectory here, and we have gotten progressively worse. 2020 was the peak in 2021, and ever since then it's been downhill. It's been worse ever since, and I don't see a way to go back up. Because a lot of people are saying, well, now we got rid of Stamkos, we don't have to pay him that money, and this will be money later on that we can spend and build a cup in a couple years. Well, you just went out and signed Jake Gunsel to a $9 million a year deal. That means that when he's the same age as Stamkos, when he's getting to be 35, 36, 37, you're going to pay him $9 million a year. That's over half or it's triple what you were trying to offer Stamkos. So why didn't you just sign him now? Why didn't you just keep him? Like I said, he wanted 8, he signed for 8, but he would have gone 5. I know for a fact he would have gone for $5 million a year. Instead, you let your captain go, you lose your identity, and now you're paying this guy who, look, I'm sorry, I don't think he's really on Stamkos' level as far as talent. When this guy gets to 34, 35, are we going to get any value for him? I'm not sure. Are we just going to have to eat this money because he slows down? Probably. So it's like you didn't save anything. You didn't get any better from this. In fact, you probably got worse down the road. Yeah.
There's a thought in the community that a bridge may have been burned here. Like, something may have happened during the course of this season where, as the conversations for the extension broke down, that there may have been some kind of moment where one side was more prideful than the other. And it was simply a respectable choice that said, I'll play out the year, or, hey, you're going to play out the year. But after this is all said and done, we can part ways, and because of all the ways that this has gone down, getting this player from the Hurricanes, I think as well as some other people think, like, it might have just been a friendly way of saying goodbye, and it looks ugly. Like, this is, I mean, for my young life, this is one of the saddest days to be a Lightning fan. But something happened. Like, this isn't normal. Like, I don't remember much of what happened with Brad Richards. I remember
Cavier, St. Louis.
I remember the St. Louis stuff. The St. Louis day might have been a little bit worse than this. Like that St. Louis day sucked. Like, this one we've been seeing come for a while. Not to go down memory lane, but with St. Louis, that kind of was just like one day he was like, "Hey, I hate it here. Trade me," and we traded him. And hey, I mean, it led to a Stanley Cup final run, but that day was rough. So I mean, this day reminds me of that day in a lot of ways. It was just one player said, "Hey, I don't want to be a Tampa Bay Lightning anymore." And the concern I have is Stamkos going to stay in the community long after this? Like Tampa is the home of Stamkos. Like, you'd see him in a grocery store. Like, he'd be at those fundraising events. So is he going to take this full time to Nashville? If he does stuff like that, I think that's where the Lightning community is going to be the most hurt. And I was listening to some other sports podcasts today, and in the community, people are saying that they are going to no longer renew their season tickets because they're so mad. So this is going to be impacting the attendance numbers of the Lightning as well. Like, this is something that we're not going to recover from for 5 or so years, if not longer. So on the ice, I'm not as worried, but in the community, this is a major blow for the Lightning.
And you think he's probably not going to come back because from what it seems like he's been on, he was on, I think, like the Canadian Sports Network. He was on for an interview. He had a couple other interviews throughout the day, and from what it sounds like, the Lightning pissed him off. He was quoted saying, "It felt like I'm trying to grab onto something that's not grabbing back." He felt disrespected. A lot of the emphasis on being that the Lightning did not want me back, and I want to be with the Lightning. And again, like I said, this guy was 34. This guy's 34 years old. Still one of the best seasons in the NHL. Solid numbers. Again, led in the playoffs. He's won you 2 cups. And to have him say stuff like that again, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're disrespecting a Lightning legend. And why would you do that? Why would you end this on any sour terms? And especially where I think, yeah, a deal probably could have been made done. And even if it really couldn't, again, I don't know the numbers like the back of my hand. I'm not sitting in the front office. I only see what's been reported to me. But to just kind of disrespect the guy on the way out and really say, yeah, we could care less if you're back or not, why would you do that? And like you said, Joel, that hurts the community more than it hurts the front office. They're still getting their paychecks. They're still getting all their money. They don't really care. But the fans and all the people who support the Lightning, who spend their hard-earned money, that's just a slap in the face. So I just think like I said, I really need to see them win now. They better be in the playoffs next year, going far, or this is gonna look like one of the dumbest moves of all time.
That's the thing. I don't think like next year is their year. Like they're gonna have to build around this, get some of these younger guys who have been coming up, those guys who made us more comfortable letting go of Sergachev. Those guys are probably gonna need another year under their belt, and this team's gonna have to form around this new identity in the Stamkos list era. And it's probably gonna take 2 or 3 years to get back to that idea of being a Stanley Cup contender. So there's gonna be a dark cloud over Amalie Arena for a year to 3 years.
And unfortunately, I don't think. I think it gets worse. I don't think it'll get better for a longer period of time. I think it gets ultimately worse. And I hate to say that, but I just think it's true. And again, a lot of the guys there who are still. I mean, there's 7 guys left on that team who were part of the Stanley Cup runs. I mean, what are they thinking about
down
this?
To that small of a number.
What's John Cooper thinking about this? You know, it's just like it feels like it's over. So to have people say, "Oh, they still got a chance, they're still going to compete," I think it's pretty much over, and you're going to have to do a lot more than a short amount of time it would take to kind of have a quick retooling. It's going to be a full rebuild.
I am leaning on the very, very optimist side of this, because what we have to remember is Stamkos. I mean, Stamkos was getting old. Stamkos had a lot of miles on those tires. He's had injury after injury after injury, and I'll admit he has had probably a 4-run period where he has been injury free. But all it takes is one injury to destroy that leg that he hit up against the goalpost years ago, and his career could be over. So those things have to be in consideration, and we have to remember that we're not running a museum. This is something that one of the guys in the community I really respect said a long time ago, and even today as I was going back to some of his stuff, he kind of ate those words, but I really took hold of that when he said it. We don't want to be the Pittsburgh Pirates. We don't want to be the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're not here running a museum. So whatever it takes for us to remain fresh, for us to remain winners, and to keep this window of winning open, I'm willing to take it. Like, I trust Brisebois in some of these things. Like, it doesn't look good right now. Like, today is a day for the community to mourn. But good times are ahead. Good times are ahead, because at this point in Stamkos' career, he really only served a great purpose in the power play spot where he would be in his office. Like, that was where you saw Stamkos be at his best. And I don't have the statistics with me right now, but most of his goals came on the power play when he was in his office scoring those goals. So this move right now was to get a little bit younger and to get better 5-on-5, and that's what is in the league right now. That's the importance of the NHL right now. Is, are you good not only on the power play, but even more so, are you good on the 5-on-5? Because teams are figuring out this mode of work to where we have to be crisp, we have to be clean at all times, because you don't want to let a team like the Tampa Bay Lightning get on the power play. And we saw in the Florida series, that's where we were taken down. It's in those moments where we're not getting 3 or 4 power plays a game. We're not going to be scoring as much as we were. So
yeah, but who was the guy scoring all the goals for the Lightning?
It was Stamkos. But how many power plays were we getting? How many of those goals were power play goals? Like, teams aren't going to just let us have that power play opportunity. Like these refs.
But he wasn't only a power play scorer, man.
As his career goes on, it will likely be that he becomes more and more of a power play only type player. And that may be what Nashville needs right now. Nashville's building a team, and they need that leader. They need that guy, and that's part of the reason why they were willing to overpay for a player like Stamkos, is because he is now the vocal point of their team. But we already have those guys like Point, like Kucherov, like Vasilevsky. So I can't see where we're coming from right now. We need to embrace a new era of Lightning hockey, and that might take a couple of years to build. But I think in the long term, this is not the end of this 5 or so period window of winning that is ahead of us.
It's close. It is 100% close.
And
they're overpaying Stamkos. He's going to be a starter for them. He's going to be on the first line for the Predators next year, and he's going to play a lot of games because, I'm sorry, this isn't a museum. Stamkos is 34 years old. He plays hockey. These guys play a long time. Ovechkin's not slowing down anytime soon. Crosby's still playing. These guys play for a long time. It's not as hard on the body, and he's been so healthy the past couple of years. Anybody could get injured. The new guy Gensel could get hurt, and like I said, it's pointless to say we have a 5-year window or it's going to be better anytime in the future, because like I said earlier, they're giving this guy $9 million a year, and when he turns 34 and 35 and 36, they will still be paying him $9 million, and they're not going to get anything in return for him because he's not as good as Stamkos. So why didn't we just pay him the money now, the guy who's already been a part of the team, who's already accustomed to winning? Gunsel's not coming from a winning team. He played for the Panthers, the perennial chokers. Like, that's what I'm saying. This does not make them better in the long run. This window is closed, and this move today solidified that.
I don't know. Some of the moves that GMs make in the Tampa Bay area, like you just gotta trust them. Like, I'll probably come on the show in a year and say, hey, everything I said today was wrong, but I don't know. Like, I'll probably sound like a shallow fool for saying stuff like this, but like, I mean, Kucherov was in the run for like the most points. Was it last year or the year before?
This year.
It was this year, so I think this team is more than Stamkos. It stings. The identity is gone, but I think a new identity might be right around the corner. I'm actually it's just us today. Like, for the sake of the rabbit trail, like, I think the identity of this team is more so in Vasilevsky, and Vasilevsky is starting to fall off. So I think that's where this team's really gone. I think it was when he went through that injury and he started to slow down and he started to get a lot of miles on those tires. I think that's where it was really like an eye-opening experience, to where it was like, okay, the window of the Lightning's winning is over, and that might have been part of the reason why they said, okay, the window could be over. Stamkos is gone too. We'll see how much longer we can get out of Vasilevsky, and we're going to bring in this guy from the Hurricanes, and we'll see what happens next.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's over no matter what. Not going to do it. They're still in cap purgatory. It doesn't get better. And like I said, you look at JBB's draft history. So far, we're still waiting to see any of these guys pan out. And I don't know if they will. They lost a lot of picks too throughout their trades throughout the past couple of years.
They added a lot just today.
They added a lot, but again, it's all 4th round through 7th round guys.
They got a second though, didn't they not?
Nope.
I thought I heard you say they got a second.
Not till next year.
I mean, they got a second next year.
Like I said,
that's part of the beauty of this, is because we're still, whether you like it or not, this is still a winning hockey club, and there's a lot of spots in this team that are already decided. Like, there's not many holes to fill, especially with the success of this rookie group that we had help out so much last year that gave us the reason to trade Sergachev. Those guys are still going to be growing, and they're still going to be building, so we don't really necessarily need draft help until next year. So I don't know. Like, I'm just playing devil's advocate, but I'm not as scared as it comes to this day in Lightning history. Like, just being an older fan and remembering it. Like the day when we lost St. Louis and the day when Vinny Lecavalier went to go to the Flyers, those days hurt way more than today. Like, I think we saw this day coming, and I think part of the reason why I'm okay with this is because I expected this day to come. Well, I think it was like 6 or 8 years ago, and it looked real good, like he was going to go to the Maple Leafs. Like, I thought it was going to be then. So we got a 6-year encore, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, I mean, he gave us 2 cups from it, and we just kicked him to the curb. 2
cups, we got an encore. He built an identity in this team, and now it's just.
But it's gone. Now it's gone.
It's just a matter of seeing, will the identity continue? Because the identity could just as well be in John Cooper. Like, we weren't doing anything with Guy Boucher, but when John Cooper came around, that's when it really felt like we were a winner. Guy Boucher got us close. He got us to Game 7 of the 2011 Eastern Conference Finals, and then after that, it was a kind of a little goodbye there. John Cooper comes in, and then the winning begins. We get to the Stanley Cup against the Blackhawks. We lose that, but it felt like we were taking those steps. We got to Game 7, then we got to the Stanley Cup, and then we started winning our cups. So, I mean, It's a longer story than just today. Today is a sad page in the story of the Tampa Bay Lightning, but we'll see what the next chapter has in this proverbial window of winning that we're in right now, and then the book is the franchise as a whole. So I don't know.
That's kind of crazy, man.
I'm out here with being the hopeful guy. I'm filling in for the Jolly Roger today.
Which I don't know.
Like I've heard a lot of outlets today just kind of crying and stuff, and I just gotta
because
remind.
again,
I just
this is
gotta
the
remind
face
everybody.
of the franchise.
We've lost faces of the franchise before. This is the biggest one we've lost, but we lost Vinny LeCavalier. We lost Martin St. Louis. We lost Brad Richards. We lost Ben Bishop.
He wasn't.
We lost Ben Bishop.
He was not that good.
Ben Bishop got us to that Stanley Cup, man.
Yeah, and he was terrible.
We would not have been in that Stanley Cup against the Blackhawks if it wasn't for Ben Bishop.
And then look at how he did the rest of his career. He was terrible.
Hey,
terrible.
Who knows what could happen to Steven Stamkos? There are a lot of miles on those tires, so anything could happen.
Looking at the Predators, they added Jonathan Marchessault. They already have. They re-signed Saros.
They stacked the team, and that's another good point. Is that Steven Stamkos doesn't have to be the star on that team. He doesn't have to be the star on that team. Which again, that could be another reason why he went. Like we have to remember in all of this that Steven Stamkos isn't just some luxury car. Like Steven Stamkos is a human. Like he might have been stale here in Tampa. Like he's won the cups. He's got one of the nicest houses out there. He was
already saying he was willing to re-sign.
I mean, like you say stuff out loud, and that's just what you're supposed to say. But I mean, deep inside his heart, like who knows? Maybe his time in Tampa had come to an end, and he decided, you know what, Nashville's just as great of a place. It also has the tax benefits that are offered here in Tampa, so you're not losing out on that. And Nashville's a great city. Like, I mean, my sister lives there, just talking like a radio guy or whatever. Like, there's great things going on in Nashville. They're probably gonna get the Rays in the next 5 years. Like,
oh my,
it's great. Like Nashville's a booming city. He can take his Tampa Bay hats to the baseball team's games and it'll make sense. Like, I mean, maybe Nashville is what he needs right now in his career. All I want, Stamkos. Just remember, Nashville's not your home. When you retire, you're gonna buy back that house you had on whatever Bayshore Street, whether it was the St. Pete one or the Tampa one. Just remember where your home is, man. Your home.
It's not his home. They kicked him out. They said they didn't want him.
Well, he'll come back. That's the other thing.
You went on a spiel just talking about how he probably won't come back, and now you're saying, everything's all good. He's coming back.
Hey, rule number 1: don't make loud noises in podcasts. No, Every goodbye is ugly. I just cried about the day that we lost Vinny LeCavalier and the day we lost Marty St. Louis. But you know what? Their numbers are up in the rafters. We had tribute videos for them. It was a beautiful thing. Like, it happens. It's sports. Like,
so why'd you just go in that spiel saying you think it's going to hurt the community, but now you're saying it's all good, he's coming back?
If he doesn't live in Tampa.
He probably won't.
That will hurt the community.
Yeah, so what are you talking about?
We'll have one nice night where we honor him, but in the long run, he's going to go back to Nashville. It's a matter of, is he walking in the streets of Tampa every day? Is he at those fundraising opportunities?
No.
Is he the lead speaker at your motivational speakers conference? If that doesn't happen, that's where the loss comes. I mean, we'll have that one nice night where we put his number up. We'll play a 15-minute long tribute video. It'll be great. But if he's not in the community every day, that'll suck. And I mean, he could be. He could very well be. We'll see. Nashville's cool, but it's not as cool as Tampa. You heard me, Rays.
You just said it was so cool. You just said
you heard me, Rays. You heard me, Rays.
You said it's so cool. And
it's so cool, but it's not as cool as Tampa. Like, hey, it's a good season of life.
All right,
my sister doesn't.
We're gonna wrap it up.
My sister doesn't listen to this show. She's moving to Pittsburgh pretty soon, but she stayed in Nashville for like 5 years. So
all right, we're wrapping it up.
It's a cool season. This season's of life.
This was a tough episode.
This was our soapbox episode. I think it was just a soapbox.
Look, it's a sad day, and I know for a lot of you guys it definitely is. But as we wrap up here, make sure to like, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, all this stuff. When you see the post for this episode, comment your favorite Steven Stamkos memory. and just share your thoughts on how you think it went down. Do you blame Stamkos? Do you blame front office? Just let us know your thoughts and your favorite memory along with Stamkos. We'll love to read those. Maybe if I'm feeling generous, if we get maybe 10 or 15 comments on it, I'll pick a random winner and send you a lightning hat or something like that. So
it won't be used.
Won't maybe it won't might be lightly used. We'll see.
All right.
But that's good enough, right? Yeah. If it's over 25, it'll be brand new. I can guarantee you that. Woo! But if it's like 10, 15 that mark, I'll make good on my deal. But you might not get the best hat.
Here's the real question: like, if it hits 15, will you wait a little while till it gets to 25?
Yeah, I'll give it a couple days.
Right. Yeah, I mean, these are questions. We're still working this out.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Have a good night. This has been TB3.
Go Rays.